everyone, this is Kelly with a tiny bit of this. In this series you will see me, Mom, and my daughter Mandy chalking on everything but the sidewalk. Mandy is an independent designer with Couture. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and her website under Chalking Where The Sidewalk Ends. Come join us over on Mandy's Facebook page to see us live every Monday on her Mondays with Mom series. You may catch the full replay over on Facebook or an edited version right here on my YouTube channel. I would love for you to be a part of our journey with Couture, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell to get notified when I upload another Mondays with Mom or any other of my crafty videos.
I am going to just tape off, and not even necessarily the whole area, but just give her a little bit more ability to not have to worry about being so close to those other letters. We are just going to put a piece of tape over them, and then after she chalks the first line, when she gets ready to move down to the second line, then we'll just peel the tape off. That just allows her to not have to be so cautious about getting too close to those words, and that'll allow her to also move quicker than she would if she was. Alright, so when using the chalk paste, you want to make sure that it is a yogurt-like consistency. The larger your piece, the more on the more thinner side you want your paste to be. That way you have a little bit more time to work with it and don't have to feel like it's going to dry out on you quicker like it will when it's thick. So when you take off the excess, because you have the tape down there, I would go from the bottom up. Like get it all covered and then take it off from the bottom up so you're pulling away from the tape.
Right. Okay. Mandy's got to be my eyes because the light's shining right in my eyes and it's giving me a glare. So I make sure I got a good coverage.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna remember, don't pull from one end. You want to get kind of even. So you really got it on there now.
The only problem is when you're smoothing out the air bubbles, it gets tighter. Just don't stretch.
Okay.
Right, so you're just gonna leave it hang there for a minute while it dries. Now when you're doing this method, you don't necessarily have to wait for it to be like set 100% dry, because you're basically putting the transfer back up over top of where you already chalked, and you're not really pushing it down anyway. I'm just kind of tacking the top two corners back up to hold it up there.
Don is asking, why can't you chalk all the lines at one time?
Because it would take too long and the paste would dry, and then when you pull the transfer up, your paste would stick to the silk screen. Like, it's still paste. It's a wet paste, but it does dry, and it, dries somewhat quickly. Mom goes a little bit on the slower side because of her hands with her arthritis and everything. So like for me, I can chalk a couple lines at a time and then peel back. With her, I mean, she probably could. However, since this is something that she's putting on her cabinet door and she gets super picky, I want to make sure that it looks as nice as possible so that she'll actually leave it there and not take it all off. So I'm having her go line by line. But if you were doing it all one color, you absolutely could do the whole thing at once. I mean, even me, and like I said, I chalk fast. I still wouldn't try to do the whole thing unless I was just doing one color. But if I was doing like two colors, I still would probably do about half and half. So just preference, but you don't want to take too long doing it because it will eventually dry. me to pull that, or you got it? Good.
Woohoo, look at that color. That's gorgeous.
So now typically when we want to speed up the process of drying things, we will use the heat gun, or you could use a blow dryer. However, when you're doing the pull and peel method, you really don't want to do that because you'll end up messing up your transfer from the heat being too close to it there, unless you were to pull like way further down. But we've already spent like 10-15 minutes working out all the air bubbles and getting this all on nicely, so we really don't want to pull further than we have to. For the honeydew, I would stick with the small squeegee just because your words are smaller. Okay. But when you go on to the next big set of words, you can probably...
Okay, so I'm just going to take the ends and just tap them up there. So stay up. I don't have to push them down. You don't want to push them down on what we just chalked.
I was going to say, do it like that and then grab another piece. Get close to your wall or tear that. I was going to say, I have a whole nother roll here if you need to, yeah. Do 2 separate pieces. Jackie said, wanting to blow on the screen to help it dry.
I do that too when I'm watching videos.
She's been known to do that. Alright, and for anyone who hopped on after I said it, we are using the tape just to cover up the next line down since she's doing alternating colors. That way she doesn't have to worry about getting too close. We push this back up, we're gonna have to wipe it because she got a little bit of paste in the letter underneath of it, underneath the tape, and then we'll have to smooth out the air bubbles because you see we pulled it a little bit further now to where the letters are
I'm known
revealed.
to be a messy crafter, so
Wiping just what I want and not going up to the...
okay, explain to
That's the
Sarah
above.
what these are, because she says, are they like screens for
Yes.
screen printing?
Yep.
Or like kids' stencils?
Kind of a mix of both. It is like a stencil, except for instead of having the hole in the middle where you would normally put the paint through, it has a silk screen in that whole area so that when you put the chalk paste or the ink on there, you're actually pushing it through the silk screen and onto your surface. It helps give you a smoother application. So now we are going to use the eucalyptus for the first time, and then she will go back again to the honeydew and then back to the Couture teal. So now we got our third color in there. So we have honeydew, Couture teal, honeydew, eucalyptus. She said, oh wait. And then she's gonna do one of the new transfers on the other side that has, what's the actual name of them? Wishies. What are wishies actually called? You know, the little dandelions. There's a new transfer that says never stop making wishes that has wishies all around it. and she's going to do that on the other side, and then we'll go back and add some of the wishies or dandelions around this one to kind of balance it out because the other one's bigger. So now we're going back to the Couture teal, which is the same color that we have the bravery here. Three more lines to go. So again, we are going back to the honeydew. I know the lighting might be a little bit hard to tell for you guys, but every other line here is all the same color, so that's all the honeydew. And then we have the Couture teal, the eucalyptus, went back to the Couture teal, and she'll go back to the eucalyptus for the one last big word. Actually not even going to push that as taunt. Voila!